I think the turning back of the clocks is a particularly difficult time this year. For people on their own, dark evenings are already long enough, so it felt like a good weekend to do something to bless my community. I was inspired by a creative collaborator from my time in Leicester. Lisa is the creative force behind Little Bird SOS, a community craft initiative working with people with direct or indirect experience of mental health issues. It's a great project. And recently Little Bird had been doing some crafts with autumn leaves, so I decided to join Lisa in a leaf bombing campaign. The first joy of this was collecting leaves. You can do this anywhere, but the leaves were stunningly beautiful in West Park, which is where I collected mine. I put them in a big pile and pressed them between a couple of books overnight to stop them curling up when I brought them inside. Then came the decoration. I was fortunate to have to hand some paint pens that I use to mark up glass. Any sort of pens that can decorate glass will work well, or you could try gel pens. Felt tips I don't think will show up much unless you have pale yellow leaves, but you could see what paint and pens you have around and just experiment. I decided on the theme of hope for my leaves. It's something we all need to hold on to right now, so I just wrote the word hope on each leaf and then let my imagination run wild with the doodles, and I did about 30. Craft bombing has become quite popular in the community recently, whether you bomb a neighbourhood with knitted angels or painted stones or coloured leaves. The idea is that it's a covert operation, so they just appear as if from nowhere. So it was great to have the extra hour because I could be out and about before other people on our street were around. It was both raining and pretty windy, so I found I needed to weigh the leaves down with quite a few stones to stop them blowing away. A blessing project like this isn't about trying to bring about any particular response. Once the leaves are out there, who knows who will see them and what response they may bring. Hopefully the leaves will bring a smile, a sense of curiosity, an encouragement to creativity, a feeling of belonging to a community, but most of the time you'll never know. However, I have to confess that late this afternoon I had a quick walk down the road to see whether any of the leaves had survived the wind and rain. I met our neighbours, Singham and Asher, who'd stopped to look in a fish pond further down the road. Asher asked me if I'd seen the leaves that had appeared. She said she didn't know where they'd come from, but when she'd seen them, she'd thought that someone was watching over her. Because in Sanskrit, her name, Asher, means hope. It was great to have this little story of blessing come back to me. And I hope that maybe there are more out there. But thanks to Lisa for the inspiration.